to it. Where are you on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon? I'm here. Hey, welcome. We're going to have some good times today. Are we going to have a good time? I don't even know. But we're going to wait for the folks to get in. We'll do a little on this date. We'll do, talk some baseball. This camera is not flattering whatsoever. That one's not so flattering either. Well, I'm at it. I'm going to trim the light a little bit. I started early, so we'll see if anybody joins, and then we'll have some fun. Man, my forehead, it's like max headroom for forehead today, too. It's going to be a good day. I can feel it. It's Tuesday. It's the day after Memorial Day. I'm here talking to myself. And, I had somebody waiting. I don't know who was waiting. But someone was waiting. And now they're not waiting. And that's sad. There's Lance. If Lance is here, we can start, right? Let's start. So I'm going to click this guy over here. Hello and welcome. Where is Artie Lange, we ask. We ask that all the time. Hi, Lance. Thank you for joining me here live on this Tuesday afternoon, if you're watching live. If you're watching on tape over here, thank you for watching on tape. Lance, how are we doing? How are you doing? It's not about me, it's about you. It's about the collective community that's going to be here today, and hopefully we have a nice chat. I popped in on Friday, I think it was, and we had a strange day here on the live chat. Yeah, it was strange, and I enjoyed it. I was glad people were here. But today, we're going to try to not have as strange of chat. But I'm doing great. It was a wonderful weekend. The weather was wonderful, although we had tornadoes here in the Midwest. And part of me started wondering, do I want to do live tornado coverage? I've seen folks do that here on YouTube where they're actually pretty good. They got the radars going. They got their own storm spotters out and about. Maybe I should start doing my own weather coverage. Would you like to see me try to do live weather coverage? I thought about it. So we had a tornado that came through about, well, let's see. It missed us, but it hit down about 15 miles away from here. There was 5 of them in the St. Louis area. I'm not afraid of tornadoes. Some folks in my house are. And so we ran to the basement. And the dog and me and the child and the wife, and we're all waiting for dinner. Anyway, so welcome in. Hello to those who are joining. And today we'll be talking about, where is Artie Lange? What's happening with him? We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk about the Cardinals. We're going to talk about the Mets. The Dodgers are playing right now as we speak. Let me take a look right at the TV. It's 2-0. Mets lead. Home run by Frankie Lindor. He helps my fantasy team. We're going to look at some polling questions. Hello, King. And we're going to talk to the people. That's really what we do here is we come in and we say hello. We let people comment, tell us what's going on, what's on your mind. Most importantly, greetings from the King. I believe that means you're a member, King, and thank you for being a member. We'll look back on moments on this date from the Howard Stern Show. We'll talk about baseball. We're going to talk about stuff from history. Do you know that today, let's see, I thought today was a big day, although I might not have actually saved why it was a big day. Someone died. Who died on this date? Well, anyway, on this date's birthday. Ooh. Kylie Minogue. Kylie Minogue, born in 1968. I don't like when I do this site because then I have to do math. But 1968, that would make her 52? 4? Anyway, Kylie Minogue, Locomotion, a song from the 80s. She redid the Locomotion. Happy birthday to Kylie Minogue. She also, then she came back. That was crazy. Kylie Minogue did this whole thing in the early it was 1987, the Locomotion came out. And she redid that song. And then she reappeared in like 2003. She looked better. She looked goddamn better than she was back in 1987 with Can't Get You Out of My Head. Happy birthday, Kylie. Hey, Rudy Giuliani. Oh my goodness, 44. So he would be 80. Rudy Giuliani, probably sweating somewhere and being strange. How about that Borat movie? Did you guys see when the Borat cornered Rudy Giuliani when they had him meeting with a woman and he's pulling his pants down? Anyway, hi King. 5150 Ed, thank you for joining in. Did she date Pauly Shore? I am assuming we're talking about Kylie Minogue, not Rudy Giuliani. That seems right. I mean, they would be perfect timing for each other. But she was damn hot. And she looked hot in 2000. I bet she's still pretty hot, I would have to say. Jerry West, great NBA basketball player. His logo, the logo of the NBA is Jerry West putting up a layup. How about that? Did you know that? Welcome in if you're just joining us live, and if you're watching us on tape, thank you for coming. We go through on this date stuff. I talk to the folks here. I do this live on. Looks like I'm gonna try to do Mondays and Wednesdays, but today's a Tuesday. But it was a holiday, and I didn't want to do that. Hello, King. You're hoping for an Ohtani homer today. You're from Japan. Is that true? Did I not know this? Do you know that I am the biggest Shohei supporter? I don't believe he gambled on baseball, and I believe he was railroaded. I believe he was railroaded by his interpreter, but I also believe he was railroaded by those reporters. And I don't know if you've heard me say this, so I'll say it again. You know, Shohei Ohtani got in a lot of trouble. Where were they, in Korea? And turns out his interpreter started talking about, to the reporter. So the reporter puts out this story, doesn't ask Shohei, just gets all of her information from this interpreter who's stealing from Shohei. They never got a secondary interpreter to maybe, hey, we need to verify some stuff. No, they just put out this story without even talking to Shohei Ohtani. They just went through his interpreter. Not happy about it, but yes, Shohei. Do you think you want him to pitch? Do you ever want Shohei to pitch again? I think people are talking about that now. Like maybe he should just not pitch. But Mets Dodgers being played right now. What's wrong with the Mets? What happened to the New York Mets? You spend all that money, didn't work out. I don't know what's going on. Lance, notice how MLB buried it. What a scam. Well, they're still doing their investigation there, Lance. So I think we'll find out more when the investigation is done. But I'm here to tell you that I'm Team Ohtani, and I think I believe that he was not involved with that. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm gullible. Big baseball news. Are you guys fans of Angel Hernandez, the umpire? He just quit, basically retired. I'm guessing something happened differently than what we know happened there. Talk about a scam. That's right, Lance. I'm going to say that's a scam that Angel Hernandez just up and quit. I don't believe that for a second. But we got Cubs. What's going on with the Cubs and Brewers? Everybody's watching. Well, no one's watching that series. But right now, baseball, no one's really winning. We got 2 or 3 bad teams. We got the Marlins and Rockies that are pretty bad. Who else is bad? Everyone else. The Diamondbacks are 25-28. The Padres are 29-28. The Giants are 28-27. The Reds are 24-30. The Pirates are 25-29. The Cardinals are 25. What I'm saying here is baseball is watered down. We're getting parity, and this is what they want. There's going to be a huge race to the 6 wild card spots. Is it 6? Is that right? Anyway, is it 3? Well, 6. Yeah, 3 on both sides. But yeah, shout out your team, and we can talk baseball from olden days or today. That's what we do here. Welcome in if you're just joining us live for the first time. We'll be doing these again Mondays and Wednesdays, hopefully, and then sometime on the weekend. I'm going to try to do them 3 times a week. I will mention, if you go to the description, you can join and be a member. We have some members in here today. I appreciate you guys for becoming members, and we're going to make something exciting for you. But I've also enacted Patreon. So if you want to be part of the Patreon community, be even more exclusive, go to my description, check out the links, and that is new, and I'll talk about that. I also have products. I've also have these products that people seem to enjoy. I've seen people buy them right off this page. So take a look at that stuff. We'll look at... I saw this list the other day, and I was going to go through this. I'll wait till more people get in here, because I'd like to get some more. But here's a poll question a friend of mine asked today. Very simple one. What's better, day drinking or night drinking? You call me, 1-800-5... No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any... I'm a fan of the day drinking these days. I want to stop and say hello. Hi, Cousin Andy. Hi, check my inbox. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Cousin Andy. So Cousin Andy was here on... he's not actually my cousin, I don't think. But Cousin Andy was here on the last live stream, and I appreciate... Man, we get these folks that come here all the time, and that's always appreciated, so thank you. But he jumped in the chat and said, hey, I was on Stump the Buoy, and I beat him. No one beat Stump the Buoy. So Cousin Andy is going to tell his story on this channel coming up soon. look for that. I might just put it on Patreon. I might just do that. You may have to go join Patreon to hear Cousin Andy's story of beating Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Howard Stern. Baba Booey. Anyway, thank you coming in. Thank you for coming in, Cousin Andy. And yes, we will be talking soon. So I was asking the class. Hello, class. By the way, have you guys seen the 7-minute Norm Macdonald joke he does on the Stern Show? So it's on YouTube. Of course, everything is. And welcome to YouTube. And thank you for joining me here on YouTube. There's a joke he does that it's 7 minutes long. And it's the Norm, all about the build-up joke about Dirty Johnny. If you haven't seen it, please go look it up today when you're done watching this. Norm Macdonald does a Dirty Johnny joke. And it's just great. All of it's funny. But back to my question, day drinking or night drinking? Now, the poll that my friend asked about, it came up 63% day drinking and only 37% night drinking. I like both, but I'll tell you what, I'm more of a day drinker these days. I like to have a nice patio drink and then take a nap. Take a long nap around 7 o'clock at night and not wake up till the next day. But hello, everybody coming in. Thank you for joining. And we're live here with Brad and friends. Please post in the comments. And basically what we do is we go back and look at stuff on this date. It's Rudy Giuliani's birthday. We talk about people's birthdays. I poll the audience. We talk about baseball. We talk about Howard Stern, Artie Lange, where is he? And I just make it interactive. We sit here and chat with each other. Basically, if you're just joining, I was asking what's better, day drinking or night drinking. We've got a quiet crowd here in the chat so far, and that's fine. But I went through my virtues of why day drinking is better, and thank you for joining. That led me to my next question that I was looking at, and it was the top beers. What are the best beers? No, not Budweiser, Bud Light, none of that stuff. Top beers. And I will stop because when people comment, I like to make sure I acknowledge them. Hello, Lance. Sparky, co-host, best friend, and my dog is great and has another appointment on Friday. Now, if you come here regularly, you know about Sparky. If you don't, let me tell you just a quick story about him. So he was my co-host, and then it turned out he had anemia? What's it, the blood disease? Anyway, it was a blood disease, and he couldn't regenerate red blood cells. So we had a transfusion, and then he had to stay overnight for like 3 days, and then he had to have another one because he wasn't holding. And then he came home, wasn't good, went back. Anyway, this all through April. The fourth transfusion, the lady comes in and goes, oh my God, you can't believe this. He's regenerating. And Sparky is now almost back to his own. He's actually better than he was. I tell you what, do you guys have bad veterinarians? I have a bad vet. I got to be honest. So I was looking at possibly suing this vet because we went and we saw 3 different doctors. And all of them were just, oh, it's he's got a yeast infection or some bullshit. I'm like, this is why he can't. He's bleeding. He's scratching himself and he's bleeding. His tail is completely losing all of its hair and he's bleeding from the legs. Anyway, Sparky's doing great. I appreciate you asking, Lance. All right, so King, you're talking about beers. No. Top beers. The number. Well, we'll do this in order. How about you want to do it Casey Kasem style? The number 10 beer in all of the land. One more beer, right? Number 9, a ballpark beer. Number 8, a poker beer. 7, a tailgate beer. 6, a shower beer. 5, on the water beer. 4, a lunch beer. 3, Friday after work beer. 2, the first beer, and the number 1 beer is a free beer. General Will on Twitter came up with that list. Let me see if I can show this to the group without. It's not going to work, I don't think. So, your favorite beer? Let me look at this list again. All right, free beer. I like that, number 1. The shower beer. That's an interesting one. I'm not a big fan of the shower beer. It's just, I'm hot, I'm sweaty. I don't need a beer at that point. I like it, not, outside of the shower. But best beer is the next one, says Jared. Okay, I like that. Angry Orchard guy, Lance. I think you missed the point of the whole exercise here. But number 1 was free beer. Number 2 was first beer. Let me see. My favorite beer is a ballpark beer, I think. When I'm at the ball yard, and I drink a lot of wine these days. I like a good Grey Goose and maybe a little lemonade. I like to mix it up. I like a good rum runner. I like it all. I do. I like to drink. So I don't really drink as much beer, but when I get to the ballpark, I'm at Busch Stadium, and the Cardinals are taking on the Cubs, and it's a beautiful day. Give me a frickin' beer right now. Sorry, Jared. That's all right. No, you're fine, Lance. We're just having fun here. So I like that little list. What's your favorite beer? I like a tailgate beer. I don't really like a poker beer. I'm usually like, when I'm playing poker, I like to be in the zone, and beer sort of ends that. Friday after work beer. I mean, I work from home. I can have beer every day after work. Lunch beer doesn't really do anything for me. Like because I'm sort of a binger as well, or I used to be. So if I'm gonna have one at lunch, there's gonna be two, and then there's gonna be three beers. Sam Adams is your favorite beer. Hello, Richard. I'll take. We can do brands as well. I was trying to think if I could actually do a taste test. Could I tell the difference between Bud Light and Mick Ultra or anything else? I don't know. Let me see. My buddy had one here. Oh, this one I don't like either. As a friend of mine said, the cutting the grass after the beer after cutting the grass. I hate cutting the grass. I just did it today. I fucking hate it. I hate cutting the goddamn grass. I mean, it doesn't matter how hot it is. I'm full of sweat, and I don't want a beer after that. I want to shower. Anyway, I like that little list. But we'll take your favorite beer here, and this is what. Welcome if you're here for the first time. This is not what we always do. If you're here for the first time, welcome in. I talk to the folks. We talk about the Stern Show. We talk baseball. We do this live, and then I post it later. In the description, you can see that I've added Patreon if you want to become a Patreon person, and we'll do some exclusive content just for you. You do have to pay for that, sorry. But I like that there's a community here being built. And we talk about stuff that's on this date. You know what I really like to do? I like to look back on this date and see what the number one song was. And my favorite year is 1984. It was the best year of music, in my opinion. And I'll get to the comment here in a moment. Thank you, Stop Playing. But in 1984, the number one song in the nation for the first week in a row on this date, Denise Williams, Let's Hear It for the Boy. I guess, was that in Footloose? So Footloose was big, and that was the first time it topped Hello by Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie went off the charts, followed by Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. So she's this girl who just want to have fun. She's this crazy, I'm so unusual chick. And then she turns in Time After Time, a wonderful ballad. 1984 was the best year. Stop Playing. Artie Lange is still alive. He is. I believe he is. But what we're here to do is find him, and hopefully he joins us one day. I was told he's coming out in May, and we're going to hear about him on Twitter, and he's going to start doing podcasts and live shows, but it's been silent, so I'm worried, because what I was told is it was supposed to happen. Hi, Sylvia, watching from Portugal live. Welcome from Portugal. I need to get there sometime, I think. I believe it's got beautiful beaches, right? Am I right? You have beaches. I love beaches, so I'll go anywhere. But thank you for coming in. Say hello. Can we talk how Howard is still not in the studio, Jared? Yes, we will. Sal, do you ever wake up and wish you were born in Los Angeles? No, I don't. Lance, best album, The Cult. Love. On this day yesterday, Bill Walton died. Richard says. Yes, that was sad. Bill Walton, a crazy. I don't understand what. I should come, is what Sylvia's saying. I was on the. Thank you for everybody's chats. And so I went to Reddit today for some prep. And there was what was the topic? I don't know. Oh, how could the show ever get back to potentially being better? I mean, it's just clearly not good right now. But the number one thing, one of the commenters, I wish I had his name. Let's see. Her name? Their name? I don't have it. But said return to studio. That'd be number one. The number two thing would be live guest with Howard Stern. Someone said, and then he said return of Robin's News. I don't know. I thought the news was kind of a throwaway thing. Unless Fred's playing sound effects and Jackie's laughing. I mean, that's what made the news. That's what the show, for me, is missing, is Fred. And sound drops and Jackie laughing at stuff that's inappropriate. There's no inappropriateness on the show anymore. So what is there to laugh at? Guy says, return to less scripted bits. Allow Benji back in the studio chair. I don't believe that. He says, I can't believe that. I'm typing this, but yes. Return to a more free from wrap-up show that allows staff to sit in. I don't know about that. Anyway, acknowledge your past. Don't say it was better, and don't even do it a ton, but admit you had a past with Billy. Yeah, that's a big one. He won't ever do that, though. But that's some notes of us. I thank you for asking about the Stern Show, because that's how many people have found this channel. And we're live, and thank you for coming here live. If you're watching on tape, you can see what the people are talking about here, and then you can be part of this as I'll do this. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to do this tomorrow. Am I going to do it tomorrow? Or am I going to do it Thursday? We'll do it Thursday. We'll figure it out. Bring back Bigfoot. Fred was the best. Van Halen's 1984 was a great album. Just reading the comments. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Bigfoot. I never was. I just didn't get it. Didn't make me laugh. He never made me laugh once. I said that the last time, and still people didn't know who I was doing. I believe Fred's on the show, right? I mean, you see him pop up on these clips every once in a while, but his microphone is definitely not on. And I think he's needed. More Robbins news, says Lance. Fred silent. Yeah, the show blows for sure. I don't know if I really, I mean, I can't remember. Did I like the news or not? I didn't. I mean, there was no, the news was not, it wasn't even real news, was it? Anyway, I thought that was an interesting top 10 list of things that people were hoping for. You know, on this date, by the way, on this week, so it was May 30th, Casey asks, does a horse know it won the race? This is a clear, great moment on the show. By the way, I just watched here on YouTube once again, if you look it up, someone put this out there, Casey's lie detector test, and see if he was gay. This is when the show was at its best. I mean, the questions they're asking Casey and then Dorian, do you like a shoe up your ass? Bring in Debbie the pet lady, says Richard. Fred's mic on for Ronnie Puppet, though. And I don't like the Ronnie Puppet, but this is exactly what we're talking about. But anyway, Casey asking about does a horse know it won the race is when they started having fun with him. That was May 30th of 2000. And May 28th, we had Lenny Kravitz come in. By the way, 60 years old. Why does that make me feel weird that he's 60? I know it's just, but he doesn't look 60. Roxy Roker's son, right? Who is that? Not Louise. Helen and Tom. Helen's son, not in real life, actually. Sylvia misses the old show. Gilbert sitting on the news, of course, was great. Everyone liked the Gilbert stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of Gilbert. I don't know. I just never, he never made me laugh. Comedy is subjective, is it not? I was listening to Norm on Marin. I went and listened to that over the weekend just for fun. I miss Norm Macdonald. What a mind. And I'm gonna work. I want to really try and get somebody from the Norm Macdonald universe on this program. More interviews coming in June. So his cousin Andy, who was on Stump the Buoy, he's gonna tell us about his experience, and that'll be fun. This date, this was great. We had, here's another one. I've just, because I can't email this person, but on this date today, 2000, we had a high school kid call in and ask if Howard could set him up on a prom date with Houston, the porn star. The 18-year-old is dateless for his prom, so he figured he could show up with a hot porn star. And this was Brad, not me, but Brad did get Houston to show up for his prom, and it caused quite a stink. But that happened on this date that Brad called the Stern Show and got a date with Houston, the porn star. One of the great moments on the show, in my opinion. Hello, Richard. I bought a lifetime subscription to Sirius because of Howard back in 2006. Haven't listened to him in several years. That was that like $500, right? And then you'd have it forever, and you're grandfathered in. That was my first subscription, 2006, and I think it was my last. I stopped listening after that year because of downloads and torrent sites. But anyway, I thought I'd bring this Brad and my Houston thing up because I think I'm trying to get a hold of Brad. Brad's a police officer, I believe still, but that's what makes me think he wouldn't want to do this, is because he's protecting the community up there in New York. Anyway, welcome if you're joining live. So what we do here, if you haven't been here before, welcome. I do this live and then I put it on tape. If you're watching on tape, you can see what people are asking me and we talk about it. And we talk about everything. We talk about baseball. We talk about On This Date. We talk about Artie Lange, Howard Stern, what's going on in the show. We talk baseball. We talk music, pop culture. People talk about my dog. I just come in and say hello to everybody, and I like to just hear what people want to talk about. We try to do this live Mondays and Wednesdays. That's going to be hopefully, and then a few times on the weekends. We'll see. Brad fell for her after the prom. I believe he nailed her. That's right. No, they went on a date, right? For a while. Brad was good. He was a cool kid. I thought he did a good job on the show. But anyway, I was just going through the rundown of what we do here. You can comment and like and subscribe. We got already people commenting. That's great. Like this channel, and then you'll get notifications when I'm going to go live. I usually set it up about 5-6 hours beforehand so you can be prepared. You can get in the room, get your drink, be set up. But also you can check in the chat for memberships, my shirt shop, and Patreon. I've added Patreon. What year did Artie Lange leave the show, asked Sylvia? 2009. It was the end of 2009. It was December, I believe, 13th. Was it December 3rd? I'll have to look at that. Maybe it was December 9th. But I think his last words were during a 50 Cent interview. If you go to my channel and watch the Tim Sabean interview, I repurposed it. And you can see, if you go back and look, Tim Sabean talks about that happening where they basically told him to go home. Still not sure if he was fired. I think he was fired. And then he went home and stabbed himself. Hello, Daniel. Are you in St. Louis? I am. Thank you for asking. Are you? Welcome here. Do you? Who's that? Who does that? I can't remember who that is. Anyway, 2010 is when Artie was no longer on the show. That's right. Well, I mean, he was there till the end of 2009. But that's when I left the show as well. I remember thinking, well, if he's not going to be on it, I can't listen to this stuff. I know a lot of people stuck with it and then continued to drop off after that. But that's when I left. Why has the Stern Show turned into a liberal echo chamber? I believe because of its host. And I'd also say, I was thinking about this too, like he's had a lot of therapy, Mr. Stern. And I think the therapy finally broke through because like I just read an article about Kathy Gifford. I guess she's putting out a book. This could have been an old article. But she talked about Howard calling to apologize to Kathy Gifford. So I'm guessing whatever happened, whoever got to him, he went and apologized to all the people that he was mean to. Rosie O'Donnell, of course. But Kathy Lee Gifford's the big one. Like, that's the one who has not been on the show yet. But yes. Looking here at the Yaki. Are we talking about the tickler? I've talked about Yaki in this program. Lance, restaurant in St. Louis still supporting you? I was going if I ever go there. Masses Restaurants in St. Louis, 5 locations. STLmasses.com. Of course they're still supporting me. They're my title sponsor of this show. I always walk in and they're like, Brad, T-Ravs for you. And I believe if you tell them that you know me, you might get a free meatball. You might. Just tell them, hey, Brad sent me. Masses Restaurants, 5 locations, STLmasses.com. Thank you for asking, Lance. Boy, you're quite the fan. What were we talking about? The big John T. Wait a minute. Do I know you, John T? Only someone who knows me knows that they have a pizza named after my father, and it's called the Big Al Special. And funny enough, it actually killed him. The Big Al Special killed my dad. He ate it. So it was pepperoni, bacon, sausage, no veggies, barely any cheese. And he'd have them 3 times a week. I'm kidding, it didn't kill him, but they were best friends, my dad and the proprietor of the restaurant Masses. And that's why they're big fans of this show, and that's why we all work together. All right. Scott, hey, Brad, did you happen to see Howard's hard-hitting interview with the president of the free world? I tried to watch it. I tried to listen to it, I think 3 different times. And it was really just terrible, all of it. Every question, there was nothing really hard-hitting. It's all about the daddy issues. I wanted to watch it. Plus, Biden is a terrible interview. He's falling asleep. I mean, he looks like a fucking robot when I don't care about either party, but he looks like a robot. Howard's interviews are terrible. I'm like shocked by how bad he's gotten at interviews. Like that was his big thing. He used to be the king of doing interviews. Like these interviews from like the 2010s, the 2015s with like who's I gonna say, Larry David, Conan, all of them were great. Just talking about the entertainment. Now it's all about daddy issues. Can you get Sour Shoes as a guest? Samuel asked. I've had Sour actually call me. I'm trying to get him on the show. You can go back and look at that. I'll post that in a little bit. But Sour and I were having voicemail back and forth. It's hard to get a hold of him. I think if you've heard the show, he doesn't really. He has a weird thing where his phone doesn't work well. I tried to get him on the show. I will try again. I want to make sure I'm not. You're still getting the pizza, John? Thank you. Is that John T? Do I know you? I'm just curious if you know me. Dude, I listened to nothing but the old Stern Artie clips. Yeah, I mean, I did that forever. I was telling the story, and I'll try to get back to the comments here in a second. But back in 2006, I started traveling with the Cardinals as part of my job. It was great, and I'd be on all the flights. This is right before the iPod came out, but I would have a cassette. I taped them on cassettes the first 2 hours. I had 2 different timers going, and then I would listen to the show on my trips. And everyone made fun of me because I was still using a fucking Walkman with the tape recorder, but I'd listened as well. And 2006. Daniel, it's the worst interview ever. They bragged about some airport bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel. Do you have any footage from the Robert Cult interview when he impersonates Herman Cain? I don't. Just going through the comments. Let me just make sure I missed anything. Why did Howard ask him about the border or showering with his daughter? Okay. I don't know. Hello, Sean. What does Sean ask here? New Stern is nothing like the old Stern. We all know that. Hello. Hello, Matt. Matt the Cat. It's not like watching Howard anymore. Love the old shows, but wow, it's uncomfortable. Please get Sour Shoes, says John T. All right, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to try it again. Again, it was crazy. I called him. I talked to his mom. His mom was wonderful. We talked for 20 minutes. And she's like, I think this will work. Let me have him call you. I think the dad was not excited about it because the next time I called, the number wasn't working. But Sour was texting me and voices. So he's calling, hey, Brad, it's Artie. Yeah, I'm having a meatball sub right now. So I got Sour Shoes calling me. Don't want to miss any comments. One of the best interviews was Artemis Pyle. I kind of remember that. Whatever happened to Ozzy's restaurant and sports bar? So Ozzy's restaurant was in a place called Westport, and he put his name on it. It wasn't really his. So it's just been. But that was a great place, though. It had the baseball cards on the bar. I actually replicated that in my first house. Now I'm in my 5th house, and it's not allowed. It's not allowed in this house. Only this Elvis picture over at wherever you can see. Well, and that thing that I did back there. Richard, how many subscriptions would Sirius have without the ones put in new vehicles? That's a good question. I'm guessing not a lot. John, no, you replied to my comment on your Jan the ETM handler video. I feel like I know you because I've been watching your awesome content for years. John, thank you so much. It's very. I got to say, whenever someone says something like that, I really appreciate it because for a while I was just doing this for fun, and then people actually started watching this, and now we do this live and we can talk here. But I appreciate that. And by the way, I've got Patreon going, so you can hit the like button, and you can also become a member here and do super chats. If you really want to say you like the show, do super. I'm not going to beg, but I appreciate you coming in, John. That's awesome. Daniel, one of your first questions about how airlines refund you directly to your credit card. Yeah, well, that was what was happening, though. You're talking about Biden's interview, I think, but that was like news of the day. Can we get Richard to, I'm not going to read that, but we'll see. I don't know. We can see. Still watching the old shows on YouTube? Yes, I am. Hey now, says Michael Hill. By the way, I hate to stop down and talk about it, but I have shirts, too. I sell shirts, and one of them is the Hey Now shirt that I created. Gotta say, my wife hates it, and that's why I like to wear it around the house. She hates that I created a shirt and people bought it. I believe Jackie bought one. Jackie the Joke Man bought one of my shirts. Oh, shit, you're kind of looking like Tim Sabian. You know, I've heard that. I've actually heard that. Tim's a good-looking guy, right? I mean, the older he looks like a kind of a young Harry Carey. But thank you for that. I don't mind that. I like Tim. Tim's a friend. Tim and I could call Tim right now. If you wanted me to call Tim, I could call him. I'm not going to, but I could. How much do you think Sal is a character and actually as wacky and demented as he is shown? I think he's wacky. I mean, if you remember when he first came in, like, his he was a stockbroker too. Like, who is trusting Sal with your stocks? But the lighting of the teeth and all the shit he used to do with Baba Booey early in the day, I think he's not a character. I think that's him. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Our president had a flatulence problem that could be heard, and Howard ignored it. I missed that. I didn't watch the interview. That's interesting, though. You'd think that'd be bigger news if Mr. President Biden was having some gas issues. But again, we're live, and I say thank you for coming here live. I just want to reset a little bit. If you're watching live, thank you. Continue to comment. Please like, subscribe, and comment. If you're watching on tape over here, this is why I'm looking at this side now, because the comments are rolling in and people are just saying, this is what we do. We say hello to everybody. We talk Stern, we talk baseball. Whatever the people want to talk about, I come in and we talk about it. Because I've done interviews with the Stern folks, and you might have some questions. Where's Artie, says Skippy. I don't know. Hi, who are you and what is your show about, says Eddie. And hello, Coffin, I don't want to miss you. Can you tell us your favorite Brenda Shanahan story? Well, it's clearly when he banged Janny's wife in the bathroom. Thank you for asking. Ride with P. So what is my show about? I think I just went through that, Eddie, did I not? So I do but since you're asking, a Stern-centric sort of podcast where I interview former people that were on the show or associated with the show. But then it's turned into some more sports talk on this date, and I just take questions from the audience, and they ask me about people that have been on the show or people they want me to interview, and that's what we do here, Eddie. Thank you for coming. Make sure you subscribe and like. And let's see what else. Got any green drink? LOL. Pretty sure more people are watching this than the Stern Show itself. That'd be nice if that's true. Thank you, Ganja. I think Sal's actually smarter than he lets on. You want? I don't believe that, by the way. Maybe though. Tim's asking about MARCI TURK. I don't think she'll be on. Is she? No, did she marry Steve Brandano? Tell me about that. Do you guys know what happened there? Because Steve Brandano was the host of the Intern show. I believe he was an intern. And then those two, I think, got together, I believe. Anyway, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, as I always say, because that gets us kind of more people in here, but appreciate you. Brandano is, okay, so Tim got it there. Any Bigfoot news? It is. No, I haven't heard any. I haven't. People want me to have Bigfoot on this program. I don't know how to get a hold of him. I got to put that in my phone. How do I get a hold of Bigfoot? Anybody know? Let me put that in my phone. I always go to my notes here. So we got some new interviews coming for you in June, and I don't know how great they're going to be, but Cousin Andy's going to be one of them, who was on Stump the Buoy. A couple others. I don't like to give away who's going to be on. Beetlejuice is a legend, yes. John T. I was listening to a 2008 or so show, and Howard was goofing on Biden for saying that when the stock market crashed in 29, Roosevelt went on TV. You're going to continue that thought. Well, he is taking credit. You know, it's funny. I like that. I like that people. I mean, so I don't want to talk politics. I really don't. I'm going to skip. Brent or Shuli news. Brent and Shuli have both been on this show. Shuli does his own thing, and I talked to Shuli about 2 months ago. We talked about maybe teaming up. We'll see. We'll see. Do you think Shuli and I should team up? You know, he has his own lane where he's kind of just, what are they? And I really don't watch, but I think he just sort of it just goes after Stuttering John every day, which is fine. But yeah, Shuli and I might actually. Yeah, I'm not going to do politics, Lance. I almost had a thought because I was talking to my wife about this today with the student loan forgiveness and then the gas reserve. They all do this in election years, though. That's all I was going to say. Hank and Crackhead Bob were my favorite Wack Packers, Richard says. Yeah, when I get stumped on the favorite Wack Packer question, Sour Shoes is my favorite. If Sour Shoes is considered a Wack Packer, then I'm going Sour Shoes. I would never not. I love Hank too. Crackhead Bob, I just couldn't understand him. Bail out Bigfoot and take him to that barbecue place that you used to promote. Oh, I promote Massa's restaurant. I should take Bigfoot to Massa's. It is. It's not a barbecue place. It's Italian. But I could do that. You're out of content. It is. Oh, come on, Adam. No, we're still here. Sour Shoes and Beal for the win. Eric, the actor, was good tier. God tier. Yeah, Eric always comes in. I mean, there's, the normal four, right? Beetle, Eric, Hank. Who's the fourth? Wasn't there a Mount Rushmore they used to do? Anyway. So welcome in if you're live. Hi. Who's high pitch? I don't know what I'm talking about. Wendy So Wendy, I can tell you about Wendy. This is very funny if you're new to the program. I have another YouTube friend. Actually, I'm a friend. Let me just call him, maybe acquaintance. Anyway, Clownvis. You guys ever heard of Clownvis? Clownvis is from St. Louis. And he is a clown who sings Elvis songs and does magic. And he's got a YouTube show every week. It's kind of why I started going live, to be honest. Wendy watches the show. Wendy watches every week. Wendy comes on and talks to Clownvis. And Clownvis told me about it, and I didn't even know he had a show. So that's how I learned that he had a show, and we kind of discussed it. I wonder if I can get Wendy on through him. I'm going to ask. Would you guys like Wendy to be part of this program? I'm going to the phone. I'm going to add that. I'm going to say Wendy from Clownvis. Clownvis. Hold, please. Do you guys have cicadas where you are, by the way? The cicadas is out of control here where I live. They're loud and they dive bomb, and there's too many of them. All right, everybody's saying get Wendy on. Thank you, Coffin. You've actually seen that channel as well. Give us a Ronnie, a.k.a. Scoresman story. I don't have any. And I got to be honest. Let me ask you this. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, I got to go back because I didn't. Just the Wendy was the last thing. So Riley, Eric the Midget, Elliot, and Hank is Gail's Mount Rushmore. What is people's opinions on why people leave the show and they are never spoke of again if they don't? I don't get that either. I don't understand that myself, Tim. I don't know if there's NDAs. Like the people talked about NDAs. And I've had people on the show, but you're right, they don't even spoken of. Hank was your favorite, says Sylvia. Give us a good Ronnie, a.k.a. So I don't like Ronnie. I don't like the shtick. I never have. It's never been funny to me. 30 years of it. I mean, when he was just sort of kind of the goofball in the hallway, it was okay. But now that he's on for hours and hours, like the whole wedding stuff, I don't get it. Are you guys fans? I'm not. I live in Wichita and hope to run into Wendy when she lived there, but I don't go to Walmart. So she lived in Wichita? Did I know that? I know she's in Florida, right? So everyone's like saying, go get Wendy. So go Cubs, says Sean. Oh, we got some baseball talk. So what's wrong with the Cubs? Lost 5 in a row, no hitting. Cardinals swept them in a 2-game series. Mark Leiter, by the way, a fantasy pitcher that I have, has been terrible. Usually pretty good. Scores, man, got a tattoo. Greetings from Sweden. Just so Joey Diaz was a guest on Artie's show. What a great duo. That's old, right? But thank you for coming in from Sweden. Oh, that's right. I remember we talked about this. You were here. Again, a person who's here all the time. Thank you for this is, by the way, what we do. If you're watching live, I get lost in the comments and we just have fun. This is great. People are. Let's see. Hello. Oh my goodness. There's a hi there. Hello. You got to tell me how to say that. I always say it wrong, but thank you. Just Megan, like sure I don't get the comments. Can't forget Underdog. Didn't like Underdog that much either. Wasn't a big fan of hers. I liked her when I first saw her because she was kind of nuts. When Hank flipped off David Blaine in the ice. Did he do that? I don't remember that. In the future, you should play a Stump the Buoy type game. Well, no, thank you, Eddie. No, this is all new to me, this live streaming, about a month and a half now. I've thought about the game show aspect of it, so I don't know, how would we do that? I'd have to invite people in. I just do this through YouTube. I gotta come up with a way, and I'm thinking about it, where we let people come in. Would you guys want to come in and talk? Like, would you want me to pop you in and be able to hear you? I don't know. Let me know if you like that. I'm just looking at the comments. Wendy used to live in Wichita. Yeah, I don't know why, but I get a huge kick out of Ronnie. But Sal and Richard are my favorite, and Artie. I'm also not that big a fan of Richard and Sal. I like their calls. You have to get Artie. Yes, I do. Hollywood Squares. Good idea, says Coffin. All right, well, we'll see. Let me make sure that I haven't. We've done a nice amount of time here. I want to see if there was anything else I wanted to get to. I'll continue to read the comments here. I thought there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Let's see. We talked about day drinking. We talked about beers. I'll maybe do that again next time. Okay. Yeah, we did kind of everything. Let me make sure. I don't want to leave you folks with stuff on the table. But what's your thought on Gary in 2024? I think Gary's finally starting to live his life and just do what he wants to do and doesn't give a shit what Howard says. Also, I found it weird that like Gary's not really the producer anymore, right? Like Will and Jason run the show, and Gary's paid as an on-air talent. I think that's interesting. Good for Gary. Gilbert and Artie together, comedy magic. It was pretty good. Scott the engineer was fired? Question mark. He was. Scott the engineer. I plead, come to the show. I've asked him to be on. I've emailed him. I want him to be. He's one of the guys that I've always wanted to have on. There's so many great moments from Scott the engineer. He's got two of my probably top 5 moments from the show: the push-up challenge and then agreeing to take anal. I think it was funny. Leave them wanting more for the next time, says Lance. All right, I was not wrapping up yet, Lance. We still got some time here. I have dinner. Oh, let's see. What are we gonna have for dinner? Like I asked before I came down here. My wife's like, "Oh, you're going to do the live thing?" I said, "What are you making for dinner?" That's the big question. She didn't have the answer. So I'm like, "I'm not coming up till I know what's for dinner, lady." That's what I said to her. And then I got slapped across the face. It's fine. I can take it. You know, I'm not going to tell that joke. Could you get Ted, Artie's old assistant? Yeah, I've tried to find Ted. If anyone can find Teddy for me, please do it. He's off the map. Can't find him. I've always wanted to talk to Teddy. He's got probably millions of stories. I do have someone coming on, I believe, that's going to tell some Artie stories. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Again, you haven't noticed me talk about Patreon, but if you go to my description, all the stuff is there. You can like this show. You can be a member. You can do super chats, which we haven't seen any today, and that's fine. People come in and do that, and I really always appreciate super chats and super thanks. But the Patreon is open too, so there's all kinds of different ways to interact with the show. Again, their Patreon, I'm going to try to do maybe some exclusive stuff over there, but I appreciate everybody coming in. What about Shuli? Yeah, Shuli's been on the show. I'm gonna try to get him on again. He's sort of reluctant now that he's doing his own thing with the Reverend Bob and the Uncle Rico show. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today's show. I think Lance is right. We had a good run. We had a lot of good people in here. Thank you for coming in live. I thank you for watching on tape. This is what we do. Please come back. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. You'll see it. So you get those notifications set up so you can see when I'm going to go live. Again, I try to go twice a week during the week and then once on the weekend. We'll see. Bonghead Eric. I don't remember him. Can you give me a shout out? Mike Hunt. Hi, Scott. Thank you. You almost got me. You almost got me with that. Oh, I almost read it like Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt. Oh my goodness, I just did. I'm nuts. But anyway, I thank you all for coming in today. Again, keep those notifications on. Keep reaching for the stars, as Casey Kasem would say. Keep your feet on the ground. All right, see ya, everybody. Come back maybe tomorrow. Set the notifications. You'll see when I'll be on, and we'll do this again. Appreciate y'all coming in. See you next time. Bye.